Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking an absolute tidal wave of news coming out of the AI sector. Anthropic is launching a seriously aggressive new strategy to cement its position right at the cutting edge of the industry. We're talking about a massive three-pronged offensive, covering hardware, political influence, and cybersecurity AI. So let's just dive right in.
$5 billion. Yeah, you heard that right. That is the sheer scale of AMD's newly announced strategic partnership with Anthropic. Now, this is a milestone contingent equity commitment, which basically means the money flows as Anthropic hits specific goals, but it immediately redefines their physical capability to compete with the heavyweights.
Section 1. The $5 billion hardware play and solving the compute constraint.
To put that $5 billion into perspective, Anthropic is gearing up to deploy up to 2 gigawatts of AMD GPUs. To be clear, that's enough power to run a small city. AMD CEO Lisa Su actually called this a deployment at gigawatt scale. The first gigawatt of this massive capacity is slated to come online starting in the first half of 2027, with Anthropic buying some chips outright for their own data centers and leasing the rest.
The context behind this massive purchase is actually pretty fascinating. You might remember Anthropic admitting back in April that surging demand for Claude had severely strained their infrastructure, and it was actually affecting reliability during peak hours. This AMD deal is the direct, aggressive remedy to that exact bottleneck.
Moving on to Section 2, breaking records in Washington through lobbying and super PACs.
In Q2 of 2026, Anthropic's lobbying spend hit a record $1.97 million. That's a huge 26% jump from Q1. And get this, they didn't just outspend OpenAI's $1.2 million, they actually surpassed NVIDIA. In just the first half of 2026 alone, Anthropic has already blown past its entire lobbying budget for all of 2025.
So the crucial question is, why are they spending so much in Washington right now? Well, this lobbying blitz traces directly back to June when the Commerce Department shut down Anthropic's Claude Fable 5 and Mythos 5 models over national security concerns. Because of those export control actions, Anthropic deployed an expanded in-house team and 9 K-Street firms to focus heavily on defense procurement, cybersecurity, and AI safety standards.
And they're supplementing all that lobbying with direct political contributions. Anthropic just donated a second $20 million to the Public First Action Super PAC, bringing their total commitment up to $40 million. We also learned from recent FEC filings that CEO Dario Amodei personally chipped in $1 million. This money is aimed at advocating for AI risk mitigation and backing candidates who support stronger AI regulation. Altogether, it's part of a massive $265 million combined AI industry PAC commitment for the 2026 midterms.
Okay, so we've got the massive hardware acquisition on one hand and intense Washington lobbying on the other. But how does 2 gigawatts of upcoming compute actually change the game for Anthropic's real-world software products right now?
Section 3. The Cyber AI Arms Race. Deploying Claude and Mythos 5. Anthropic is iterating incredibly fast. Just look at the latest Claude code update that just shipped. It brings everything from nice quality-of-life updates, like emoji autocomplete, to really critical infrastructure fixes, preventing silent data loss, fixing memory leaks, and tightening budget controls. It's a rapid-fire patch that just goes to show their continuous, fast-paced improvement.
But the true powerhouse here is Project Glasswing. This program uses the highly restricted Claude Mythos 5 to scan critical infrastructure code bases. It's already operating with about 200 partner organizations across 15 different countries. And here's where it all connects. Remember that 2 gigawatt compute influx from AMD we talked about earlier? It directly strengthens the argument for expanding Project Glasswing and rolling out Mythos 5 at a much larger scale, finally solving the compute scarcity that's constrained it up until now. And this brilliantly illustrates the current corporate battlefield. I mean, the landscape changed literally yesterday. Google just released Gemini 3.5 Flash Cyber, which is a security-tuned model restricted to governments and trusted partners. This puts Google's new model in direct, intense competition with Anthropic's Claude Mythos 5. It is an all-out race to dominate security-tuned AI.
Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. Project Glasswing's 90-day progress report is still pending, but Black Hat USA opens in Las Vegas on August 5th. That is exactly 14 days away. With Anthropic armed with $5 billion in AMD compute and heavy Washington influence, and Google firing back with Gemini 3.5 Flash Cyber, who is actually going to win this multi-billion-dollar government AI cyber contract war? Keep your eyes on Las Vegas, folks, because this arms race, it's just getting started.